Also,
I had two questions
some big.
We want to bring in retired Colonel.
Okay, shut up.
for you. First, are there currently any American boots on the ground in Iran?
No, but we're not going to go into the exercise of what we will or will not do. I think it's one of those fallacies
They're wanting to put boots on the ground. They're not denying it.
for a long time that this department or presidents or others should tell the American people this, and our enemies, by the way, here's exactly what we'll do. Here's exactly how long we'll go. Here's exactly how far we'll go. Here's what we're willing to do and not do. It's foolishness. And so President Trump ensures that our enemies understand we'll go as far as we need to go to advance American interests. But we're not dumb about it. You don't have to roll 200,000 people in there and stay for 20 years. We've proven that you can achieve objectives that advance American interests without being foolish about it. Now, will we be bold about it? Are we willing to be decisive about it?
He's so evil. He's so evil, dude. He's saying this with a fucking smile on his face.
Do we put months and months of planning into what kind of effects we want to achieve? Absolutely.
Holy
But going
shit.
forward, why in the world would we tell you, the enemy, anybody, what
Why would we tell the public what we plan to do?
we will or will not do in pursuit of an objective? We fight to win. We fight to achieve the objectives the President of the United States has laid out, and we will do so unapologetically. Thank you.
The U.S. is enlisting separatist groups in Iran as well.
Airstrikes alone rarely topple a regime, if that is indeed the goal of this joint U.S.-Israeli
Which, guess what happened in Iraq and Afghanistan?
campaign. Missiles may not be enough. In a recent interview with the New York Post, Donald Trump said he would send in U.S. troops if necessary. But with polls showing just 12% of the American public in favor of such
Like, this is causing such. I can't imagine. I can't imagine. Like, this is how this is proof of that the U.S. government is run by complete fucking morons right now. Complete fucking morons. If they wanted to be fascist forever, we wouldn't invade Iran right now.
such a move, it would come with a deep political cost. On Wednesday, the nation's top general tried to distance the military from the political fray.
Well, I'm not going to comment on U.S. boots on the ground. I think that's a question for policymakers, and I don't make policy. I execute policy.
Ah, that's funny. Dude, he's like, oh, no, that's not me, man. That's not my question. I don't know. If Trump does it, that's not on me. I just gotta follow orders.
If not U.S. troops on the ground, there are reports that Donald Trump has called leaders of Iranian Kurdish factions in northern Iraq to see if they are willing to take up arms against the regime. Under such a scenario, Washington could provide air support if the Iraqi Kurds cross the border and provide intelligence support to Kurdish groups inside Iran.
Al-Qaeda 2. We're making Al-Qaeda 2.
But experts say it's far from a sure bet, given that the Kurds have a long memory of American betrayal.
In 50 years, the U.S. has used the Kurds, the Iraqi Kurds, the Syrian Kurds, on multiple occasions. And when they no longer need them, they've betrayed them. And I know the Iraqi Kurdish leaders are very much aware of this, and it's something the Iranian Kurds might want to consider.
In addition, experts say the Iranian Kurds don't have the same military resources or training as the Iraqi Kurds. Another group posing a potential threat to the regime are the Balak militant groups, some of whom have reportedly crossed into Iran from Pakistan. But experts have warned that backing such armed groups could open up a hornet's nest and increase the chances of a messy civil war if the regime collapses.
But that's what they want. They want that. Because then the U.S. can step in and siphon all the oil out of the country.
Steve Warren, he is an NBC News military analyst, also a former Pentagon spokesman.
The amount of oil we took out of the Middle East during the Gulf War is unbelievably high.
Colonel Warren, nice to see you. Appreciate your waking up early with us. I want to get a sense where we are now a week into this war. U.S. Central Command yesterday saying there had been at least 3,000 targets that have been struck inside Iran. The bombardment continues again today. The president said this could go 4 to 5 weeks. We're now a full week into it. Where do we stand in terms of his effort to achieve what he wants?
And the Israelis have said they've struck an additional 2,000 targets. So we're up to more than 5,000 targets struck already. Right now, it's
Israel. Support for Israel. We love Israel.
It's a test of wills, isn't it? You know, the American and Israeli forces are using power to try to grind down the Iranians. Meanwhile, the Iranians are using various techniques to try to upset the economy, to try and create confusion, to try and create tension amongst allies. We'll see who wins.
Colonel, privately, the president is talking about a small contingent of ground troops. But is that realistic when you think about the goals that he has set out here?
It could be, there could be a tactical advantage. So there are certain spots, perhaps an island, perhaps a specific location that has some tactical or operational significance, where I can imagine we would place a force to hold a piece of ground. We're not talking about an invasion. This is not Iraq in 2004 with tanks and artillery.
It's about to be.
And pulling down statues in the streets of Baghdad. I don't believe that will happen. But a tactical operation to seize a piece of terrain, that's perfectly reasonable.
Oh my God, dude, it's the same thing. It's the same thing, man. It's the same language. Jesus.
We appreciate you making time to talk to us.
This
Thanks for your
country is
perspective.
so fucking evil.
Ortiz.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, thanks.
Shut up. I don't care.
Will not intervene and will not cut off.
I mean, even
Want to
Ben
be
is like,
used and then tossed to.
There will be boots on the ground, but not the way that the liars are telling you there will be boots on the ground. The worst case scenario for leadership in Iran, still better than the Ayatollahs, and of course the Europeans remain gigantic cowards. Now, let's begin with...
and they're fucking European. Even Ben Shapiro's like, there's going to be boots on the ground. Everybody knows it. And then Stromer, British Prime Keir Starmer, spoken to President Trump about military cooperation. Trump has rebuked Starmer on multiple occasions. They last spoke over a week ago. The Prime Minister's initial decision not to permit the U.S. military to use British bases in the initial attack, describing it at one point as not Winston Churchill. Starmer has now granted permission for defensive actions against Iranian missile sites from UK bases after Iran started attacking countries throughout the region. Starmer's office, number 10 Downing Street, said the pair discussed the military cooperation between the UK and the US through the uses of bases in support of collective self-defense partners in the region. Starmer also shared his heartfelt condolences following the deaths of 6 US soldiers. Our allies didn't initially support us in Iraq. It's truly the era in the decade of America failure. And Trump even is like...
A second week of war begins with no let-up in the assault on Iran. It grows only more intense. And while fires bled red into the pre-dawn sky over Tehran, this nation's president vowed there would be no surrender.
Yep, we already saw that.
And yes, by morning, for the first time, a real sign too of the pressure the regime's surviving leadership is under. President Masoud Pezeshkian made a public apology to neighboring countries Iran is striking at. He said his armed forces had fired at will because their commanders had been killed.
It's coming to the airport.
But the apology was soon drowned out by the sound of a drone.
Oh my God.
A near miss on a terminal building at Dubai Airport, witnessed by some passengers waiting on planes to take them home. They were rushed to shelter, and for a while flights that had been taking thousands of Britons to safety were suspended. The United Arab Emirates President Sheikh Mohammed bin Zayed appeared on local media, in part to reassure local people, in part to warn Iran, "We are no easy prey," he said. But tonight, we witnessed air defences in this city in action again.
So local people tell us there was an intercept.
War that he ordered. The president wearing...
There we go.
No, they haven't. He was up very early this morning to post on social media vowing death and destruction to whole new areas of Iran and vowing that they would be beat to hell. But he also, as you say, had that most somber duty of any president of honouring the fallen soldiers of a...
Wow, we're just glazing Trump. Oh my God.
War that he ordered.
Iraqi Freedom V2. Yep.
The president wearing a white USA baseball cap that he...
This image is a perfect description of this current administration. Trump does not give a fuck about anybody but himself. Trump does not care about you. He does not care about the military. He does not care about your families. He doesn't care about the economy. He does not give a fuck about anybody but yourself. He enjoys ruining lives. He enjoys bombing the Middle East. He does not give a fuck. He does not want to be there.
He didn't remove as he saluted the 6 coffins covered in the American flag as they were carried slowly past him. A devastating moment for the families, the bereaved families who were also there, and also a moment that is really bringing home to the American public that despite the US's overwhelming dominance in this war, it is not one without a terrible human cost. But that sad occasion was not the only thing occupying the president's mind today. He also took time to attack Sir Keir Starmer, who he claimed was considering sending 2 aircraft carriers to the Gulf. In fact, 1 aircraft carrier has been put on a state of readiness in Portsmouth, with the president also saying on social media, "That's okay, Prime Minister Starmer, we don't need them any longer, but we will remember. We don't need people that join wars after we've already won." The war, of course, by no means won. In fact, a week after it started, the White House seemingly determined to extend it still further and even less clear about how it might end.
Because they got no plan. They're going into this with no plan. 7 new updates. Sri Lanka plans to issue free visas for evacuated Iranian soldiers. Saudi Arabia reports its first deaths. Analysts said defection's final key signed instability. Yeah. Tensions on Israel's northern borders. Military beefs up presence to counter Hezbollah. Civil war. Operation Free Iran.